Let's ride. Unified leadership. Light that flame, turn it up loud, remember the name. Unified leadership. Power and pride, we don't just talk, we testify. Unified leadership. Heart and grind, purpose and rhythm, perfectly timed. Bass hit heavy, croppers and rhythm, purpose and rhythm, perfectly timed. Bass hit heavy, crowd on sway. Culture, clay, truth and play. Seafood, Raphael, calm control, leaders in sync. Hearts of gold, focus sharp, the mission clear. Every step forward, silence the fear. Discipline, dripping, confidence, how we move together, we amplify. Who we are, unified. What we lead, unified. Stand tall, unified. Every time, unified leadership. Raise that bar, leaders in rhythm, born to spar. Raise that bar, leaders in rhythm, born to spar. Steady and true, the sound of the few that follow new. Strong alive, this is the beat where leaders thrive. Unified leadership.
Coach T.O. Clay, unified.
Unified leadership. Good morning. Good Friday. How you doing this morning?
Exceptional. Getting better every day, my friend.
It's good to hear, man. Very good to hear. It looks like we got some special folk in the shoot right now, man. It's exciting. Yes.
It sure is. I got to tell you, we were chatting a little bit earlier, and everybody is going to bring their A game. I mean,
right.
Actually, A+ game. So let's not waste any time. Let's go ahead and start bringing them on. Here we go. Renee, Blaz, Jimmy,
morning.
Mike.
Brother Jimmy in the house.
Good
Wendy,
morning. Good morning.
Mike. What up, Mike?
What's up,
Oh,
TM?
man. Blaz.
Good morning.
This is awesome right here, bro. It's rock star material right here. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I got to tell you, I love the topic today. It's aligned leadership when health, voice, and systems finally work together. And I just want to tell you one thing. We're going to give away one seat today to our New York City experience. It's called the Lab, Intensive Lab. And we're not going to do it now, but we want to let you know it's happening at one point. But you need to be there. And I'm going to tell you exactly what time it's going to happen. So gather all your friends, gather anybody who needs to be in the room with us. It's going to happen at 9:20. What time? 9:20 Eastern. So reach out. All right, let's get into it. What's the one thing that we all need to work together to unify? Who wants to take that one?
Like I say, leadership. When you look at leadership traits, that's the biggest thing. And I pulled up some old notes that I had, and it talks about leadership traits, but it comes from you and your family stories that's told to you by your parents, your grandparents, your aunties, your uncles, right? Mm-hmm. You got to go back to the mindset of a kid that's around people to where you have to listen. That's how I grew up. You couldn't talk around adults, but you had to listen, right? When you look at those stories, when you listen to this group of people, we all got stories to share to help other people improve their lives, because we learn from theirs as well. Leaders need leaders, right? But they have to know that. You just can't be a leader if you don't know a leader. A lesson I had to teach my son one time, everybody teaches you something. So he had a leader that didn't like him, that was working against him. But then the leader left. My son calls me. He said, "Dad, what am I supposed to do?" I said, "You're supposed to shake his hand. And you're supposed to tell him, it was a pleasure working with you, but thank you for teaching me what type of leader not to be." I said, "Just walk away." He said, I said, "Just do what I said. Say what I said, do what I said." He said, "Well, Dad, that's insult." I said, "You sure about that? You just congratulated him on teaching you what type of leader not to be. You didn't say nothing bad about him. Walk away." It's that simple. You have to look at that. If you want to be a good leader, are you going to follow a bad leader? And if you're a good leader, I'm the type of leader that I'm competitive. I will teach you everything I know, and you're still gonna lose to me. But it's gonna make you better. I was a recruiter, #1 in the nation. But the people I beat because I helped them, they wrote more numbers than they ever wrote in their life. So they're better. They just can't beat me. Attitude. Is that
I'm going to
simple?
tell you why they can't beat you, because you keep sharpening your axe,
Yes.
right? No matter how many trees you chop down, if you don't sharpen your axe, it's going to be a dull hit. I want a clean slice every single time. Thank you for sharing that. Wendy,
Yes, sir.
I got to tell you, you and I are in the same industry of, and I said it earlier, everybody on this panel loves helping people. And Wendy, you're in the health and fitness industry. I am too, and I've been in it for my whole life. And I think that one of the things about the health and fitness is that a lot of people don't realize that health and fitness is not only the physical, but it's also the mental. Would you mind sharing some of that with us, if you need?
Absolutely. So I always tell people I stumbled into the health and fitness industry because I was really just wanting to take care of myself. I was at that point where I had a great job, had the family, had the house and all these things, but I was not fulfilled. And my whole transformation and segue into this started as I thought I just needed to lose some weight after I was pregnant with my son. But what I realized was there was a whole bunch of other things that were going on, and I was not living my life with intention. I was not taking care of myself mentally. I was not giving myself space to be able to show up as the best mom or wife or anything that I could be. And so what turned into, it really turned into a journey of me feeling really strongly about wanting to help other people who are in a similar place, because I think there's a lot of people, especially those in leadership, which is who we're talking to today. You're showing up for everybody else in your life and all the other places in your life, but you're not taking care of yourself physically or mentally. And that it drains everything. And you can't be your best self if you're not fueling your body well, moving your body well, taking care of the temple that we've been given. And at the end of the day, what ended up happening for me is all of those physical things. So like what I'm eating and how I'm moving and all of that is so secondary now, because really I've now connected that to how am I showing up, and for everybody else, what is my mindset? How am I fueling myself, mentally? Because now that I've taken care of the physical part, I can move on to so many more important things and live out how I want to show up for other people. So what I really love to do, and I know CP, you feel the same way, is let's establish those baseline habits for people so that they don't have to think about the physical part anymore. Get that part out of your brain, because it's draining your energy, so that you can show up in all the other parts of your life, and that's no longer something that you're, really trying to work on every single day.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you for sharing that. Appreciate it. I'm not going to constantly be asking you guys questions. I want Coach Tito, obviously, the man has got a mind that's truly incredible, a true leader. So here's the other cool thing, that you can ask each other questions. So let's make it conversational for sure.
I would love to share on what Wendy just mentioned. My mindset for years was that your health was something, extra when you have time. And my mindset towards leadership was the doing. The more that you do, the more that you perform, was an indication of your worth and your value. And when I was confronted, you don't get too many warning signs, where my health was challenged, and I noticed myself passing out at work, and then waking up, and then someone saying, "Hey, you need to go to the emergency room." And my thought was, no, I need to finish what I'm doing. And I look back and I said, wow, that was crazy, because our bodies and our minds, all of that is part of a system. And if you neglect one part of the system, it's going to be an impact somewhere else. And so we're only as strong as our system. And that means our mind, our bodies, our spiritual beings, and being able to take that quiet time to rest and recover. Because if we don't, eventually we're going to be forced to. And so that changed my mindset about doing more, but now being more.
Health is such a huge
I'm going to piggyback on that.
Go for it.
Can you hear me?
Go ahead. Yep.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. So yes, it's interesting that what Renee just brought up, because you'll see, just because I deal with helping business owners sort out their technology or their business workflow issues and or their podcast situation, their health and well-being shows up. It shows up in everything, because they'll be disorganized, or the trust in, they're leading a team, let's say, and they've got all these components that are supposed to work together in their business or their podcast production or their YouTube channel. And when I have a chat with them, I can see all the crap. I'm the outside observer. Like I can just see everything that is going on, that it may not be working efficiently or at all. And they're so brave because they know that they're holding it together for their team. That I'm like, okay, let's just solve one thing a day or one thing a week while you go take care of yourself, because you may just need to have somebody take that heavy burden off of you, the production of your show, just building out documentation and workflow processes for your virtual assistants or your on-site team members. Like, let me come in and just take over some of this heavy lifting and straighten it out, just so you look amazing while you go take care of the stuff, because you just need some extra time to focus on you and what's going on while we keep the machine well oiled. I see this a lot. So I just want to add that in, because health is so important, and it's always affecting what you're doing day to day in your business.
Well, and Mike, I think that's great, because one of the things that I've learned through my journey is my biggest limiting resource is my energy. And I have to figure out, where is my energy leaking, because I'm doing things that are not filling me up. And so all the things that you do, I would 1000% be so happy to hand them over to you, because they are not my genius, but they are yours. And so recognizing that is huge. And it's a huge part of your managing your workflow and your day and showing up for other people, is realizing, hey, that's not my genius. Who can I find that can help me with it? Because that can reserve so much energy for you during the day if you're not being drained by those things.
Yeah. And in addition to that, right?
Go for it, Blaz.
Yeah. So when you're saying energy, right, that's super important, because usually our brain has enough energy for 4 to 6 hours of really productive work. Then it pretty much limits off. However much you want it, that you think you're a Superman that can work 12 plus hours a day, like being really productive, you're not. And in event, when we're talking about health, what we're doing with working so much, and the word that we love to use is hustling, right, is that you're mortgaging your health from your future, because at one point you're going to burn out and you're going to crash. And if you don't take care of yourself right now, you're going to eventually, but it may be 10 years, 20 years from now, when you can't almost do anything after that. And then think about it as well. What's going to happen to your company, to your people that you're leading, and pretty much they're making their living from you. Like, you're also going to be failing them, because you're failing yourself at the moment of not taking care of your health.
I like this is so fun this morning. I read the notes on what we was going to talk about today, and I found an old note from the 90s, and it starts about mindful thoughts. You cannot do a good job if a job is all you do. Now think about that and listen to what I'm saying. While you owe your boss your best effort, your dedication, your concentration, your honesty, your integrity, things you do not owe them. Okay. You do not owe them your health. So I'm listening to everybody talk about their health. You don't owe them your sanity. You don't owe them your relationships, and you don't owe them your family. Work is a rubber ball. If you bounce it, it bounces back. We do this every day. It bounces back. Family, health, friendship, integrity are made of glass. If you drop that, something's going to break. Me being in leadership, being in the military 24 years, I worked out every morning, sometimes twice a day. So the physical concept for me was easy. The job part became easy because I understood the people around me. The best leaders, and a lot of leaders don't like this, is the worker bee. And if you're military, you know what I'm talking about. The people that do the job, I built aircraft engines. Pilots thought they was better than us. Well, sir, you won't be flying today if I don't fix your plane. Here's my toolbox. Can you fix it? The worker bee is everything. You can't get it done unless you know the people around you. But if you put your job before everything you do, you're going to fail. Because everything you do is for what you can give your boss. And just let's stick with family. Let's just stick with health. You are replaceable. And I learned that at a young age. One day you're going to wake up dead. Is the business going to stop? Nope. It's not going to stop. So if you take care of you first, mentally and physically, everything else is easy. Okay? Give up the leadership every once in a while. Take 3 days off. Forget about it. I mean, who can do that? That was easy for me. It'll get done. And when you get back, it's done better than you expected to be. Because we great leaders. We teach people to be better than us. You continue to do that, survive, 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 success, success, success. It's that easy.
For a second there, Jimmy, I thought you were from New York. Forget about it.
I'm from New Orleans. We do forget about it.
Forget about it. I'm going to quickly say something, and I'm going to give it over to whoever wants to jump on next. But I love what Wendy, Renee, and every one of you spoke about. And one of the things that I say is, if you're going to give up your time, which is more valuable than money, to do something that costs you so much in time, but you can pay it out in money, why not? So when Wendy said to Mike, hey, Mike, I'd rather give you that stuff because you're an expert in it. I'm not. So if you want to become an expert in it, Wendy, it's going to take you 2,000 hours, let's say, or 10,000 hours. And do you want to value giving everything else up for that? Or do you going to say, hey, Mike, you're an expert. Why don't you help me with this? And let me go do where I shine my light. So that's what I just wanted to share. Thank you.
That's good.
This is a conversational show, guys, so you need to speak up.
I guess that's why when I speak to leaders every single day, week about their podcast, about their YouTube show, because my most important thing is I want you to show up every single week. Like Sifu, how many shows do you have, Sifu? 7, 6, 7? You got a few.
Only 10.
Only 10. Oh, I'm so far behind. So you know that you have a production schedule. You've got a production checklist in order to run these StreamYards as well as you do with this amount of guests. You're seasoned. You've been doing it for however long it has been, and you know all the checkbox. You sent us a nice email or multiple emails, which we may or may not have read because we're the guests, and gave us instructions. And that's precisely what I ask people if they have and they're ready to show up for their employees that particular day with their technology, with running their business, or with their YouTube show or their podcast. I'm like, do you have that checklist? And a lot of the time, they look me in the eyes and they're like, I don't have a checklist. And it's like, you don't have that health and well-being checklist for your production, for your day, for your production. It's like, Jimmy's going to the gym. When you like you just gotta have it. Even if it's mental, just have that checklist. So you're like, I am ready for the show. I am ready for the day. You know, what time you got to show up. Have your headphones on, your microphone on, the light's good, internet's good, all this stuff, because the cracks will show if you don't have that checklist. And that's, my wife and I run something called YouTube University. We're bringing it to Long Island in May. And that's exactly what we're doing for people. We're like, hey, I want you to take the same amount of energy that you put in every single week with your promotion, with running your business, with running your podcast, with showing up on camera. Take the same amount of energy, and we're going to make it super simple for you, because we're just going to hand you this checklists that you never had before, and it's going to empower you and elevate you to know that you can do more with the amount of energy that you're already spending every single day. But we're going to just make sure that it's flawless, because we got the experience with production and just showing up and guiding and leading people. And it's just, you know, and when you say those words to people, I was just in Dallas talking to somebody with podcasts. He's like, what am I missing? And I'm like, we're going to change one thing per week, just little tweaks. You're great, just little tweaks. And he's like, I get where you're coming from. And he's like, I appreciate that you just showed up and didn't ask for anything. We're just comparing notes. He's got notes from being a speaker on stage, and I've got notes from producing so many shows. And I'm like, yeah, we're just collaboration, and we're just gonna you tell me what I need to tweak when I'm on stage. I'm going to show you what you need to tweak behind the scenes when you're producing your podcast.
What
I love the fact that, 1 second, and then I want you to come back with that thought, Wendy. I want to thank you for promoting the event that we're having in New York. So I might as well throw it up on here. And then Wendy, you'll come on.
Unified leadership.
This is what we do, man. This is what we live. This is our calling. And you walk away with a working document, something that you could hold, that's intangible, that you could utilize, man, wherever you are on the journey. This is not for one specific element. This is for real leaders to grow that leadership acumen, to be better in the home, be better in your community, be better in your workspace, be better in your organization, your teams, man.
If you feel you have no value after day one, we'll give you your money back.
Indeed. 100%, bro.
That's how we stand behind what we believe in.
Raise that bar, leaders in rhythm, born to spar. Raise that bar, leaders in rhythm, born to spar. Steady and true, the sound of the few that follow new. Strong alive, this is the beat where leaders thrive. Unified leadership.
Okay, Wendy, you're up.
That's okay. But what I was just going to say is what I think is cool about what you said, Mike, is that system can be applied to anything, right? Like, find somebody who's really good at the thing that you need help with, have them help you break it down into a checklist so that you don't have to think about it, because how much energy are you wasting trying to figure out what that thing is every single time, when you can find somebody else who's an expert at it. They're going to give you a list, and then they're going to take it one step at a time. And I think that's so cool, because whatever it is that you need help with, there's somebody out there. I mean, in this call, there's people that, you know, could help you with a whole bunch of different things. But I think it's really cool the way that, you know, where we've involved now with kind of the support and coaching industry is just figure out what that one thing is that's draining the most energy in your day, and find somebody to help you find a system, break it down, do it one thing at a time, and stand by you while you do that. Because just getting that part of your energy leak out of the way is going to make so much of a difference in everything else you're doing. And then you move on to the next thing. So no, it's not rocket science, but you find somebody else who's really good at the thing that you're not and have them support you, and then just see how that changes in your world. Cause I think it could be huge.
And even if you're happy with where you are right now as your business or as a founder, there's always something you can tweak. And then just think about it in the longer term. You probably have a vision to help more people and to grow as well. So the systems that you're using right now, when you're having maybe like 5-6 clients as a coach or something like that, work for you at the moment. What happens when you have 15 or when you get 20 clients? And usually growth doesn't happen linearly. It usually happens like sometimes like right away. And then it's like the oh shit moment. It's like, I don't have the systems and I have to work 12 plus hours a day. And then we go into just those patches like, oh, I'm just going to quick fix this, quick fix that. And then we have the spaghetti that it's becomes so hard to unravel that you will have to bring in so many more people. It's going to cost you probably thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars to even just like to completely fix it. And you may actually not even be able to fix it later on. So you have to think about this in these founding stages where you are.
When I think about the different pieces that we're bringing, I'm hearing energy, I'm hearing systems, and I'm hearing kind of this alignment piece. Another part that I want to raise up is your voice. Sometimes we can say something and there may be a misalignment with how that message resonates with someone else. I'll use myself as an example. For years, the thought was focusing on doing and performing leadership. And so I thought the work, the doing was the important part. And I wanted to show up a certain way, but my voice was not matching the value that I knew I had. And the piece that was missing that was that identity connection, because nobody else would see me as an influential leader because I didn't truly believe it. I was the chameleon. I was doing what I thought Sifu want to see. I was doing what I thought Jimmy or Wendy would want to see. And that's the piece I want to share with y'all is what does voice mean to you?
Voice is you. And I'm trying to simplify this from my perspective. Being on stage one time for 2 hours, a guy walked up to me and said, "You didn't say ah." And I just started laughing. And he said, "Why?" I said, "Because the only person on stage that know what I'm talking about is me. So why would I say ah?" Right? And he kind of looked at me, but this is what you teach your people. Sometimes your voice is somebody else. Because if you're a true leader, the people that's following you, they're going to follow you. That's why I said lead from the front, the back, and the sides. Okay. Sometimes lead from the back. Look at what your people are doing. You just corrected 100 mistakes because you've seen what you put out was wrong. But they're so smart. They know what you want, but they're going to do it this way. Success breeds success. So when I got awards in the military, whoever gave me the idea in a certain situation, they got the award. And I did it on the stage. I said, "You need to come up here." And everybody like, "What are you doing?" I said, "This don't belong to me. Take this name tag off and put theirs. This belongs to you. This was your idea. You just built a strong team that other people want to get on that stage. Other people want that award that you're getting. Aren't you going to get a big award in the process because you gave them what they wanted? Wants and needs. We all want to be successful. What do you have to do to be successful? Know what you need to do. Find your replacements, period. And it's going to continue. That's leadership to me. You got to believe in yourself. There's nobody better than you for that moment. But sometimes you got to back off. I was that supervisor that I'm going to tell to my people when they mess up. Well, I learned something quickly. Don't do that. Sometimes ask them a question. You expect to get yelled at. I said, okay. Well, you know what you did yesterday, right? Yeah, I know what you did, Chief. Make sure it don't happen again. They're like, what? Make sure you don't do it twice. Go back to work. End of discussion. You'll be surprised how powerful you just made them. They're not going to mess up twice. So now they can be you, and that's how you do it. That's just my call. Golf guys.
Missing your golf.
That's a power leadership. Renee, you're a powerful leader. You know, when we wake up thinking we have a problem, we don't. We don't have no problems. Look at where you're from. Look at where you at. How did you get there? Build on that. Build on your past that made you the person you are today. You know how you did it. Share it. Give it up and don't expect nothing back. You're going to get more than what you need. That's life.
Nice.
Renee, I think we need to chat because I think that you and I have some very, very parallel tracks in our life. And, you know, I'll share that in kind of my shift to entrepreneurship and out of the corporate world, it was a very uncomfortable moment. So I was very confident in where I was before. And, you know, I could do what Jimmy's talking about and in my job, and I knew what I was doing and I knew where my voice was there. And I was good at that, but I was not fulfilled anymore with what I was doing. And so then I felt this kind of left turn to help people in a different way. And it's exactly what you said, Renee, of like, my identity didn't match where I was being pointed to. And so I really had to find a way to become that person so that I became more comfortable in sharing my voice, because that voice felt very uncomfortable. But a lot of people kept saying to me, oh, you're my inspiration, or thank you so much for sharing, because that's really helping me because I'm there too. Which eventually gave me the confidence to say, okay, this is where I'm supposed to go. And this is what I'm supposed to do. And I am supposed to share this part of myself and this voice, even though it felt really, really uncomfortable for a long time. So I think that's awesome. And I love that you help people find that voice, because that's a scary thing to do. And especially if you're shifting from like, you know, I know how to do a job and I can teach you how to do a job versus here's who I am as a person and here's my real passion and purpose. That feels a lot more personal and was a lot harder for me to open myself up to sharing that voice.
That's actually really interesting, because for me it was a little bit different when I was in the military. I knew my voice and what, you know, I was as a leader. And then when I went to corporate, I completely lost it because I didn't understand what corporate was. Like I was fired from a couple of jobs because I was apparently too outspoken. And then after I left and I became, you know, my entrepreneur and went on my own, now it's when I'm still finding a voice, but I know that my voice is stronger and I'm more aligned with myself. Like, so my head, heart, and gut, right? Than I ever was. Because in corporate, you have to kind of almost pedal to your managers, otherwise they're gonna fire you and you actually lose your income. Whereas now that I'm alone, I can fire my pretty much my client because I don't agree with them or I don't want to work with them anymore. So it's completely like shifted, like also my perspective and pretty much everything else that I do. And I'm way more comfortable with myself and with everybody else that I'm helping. And I know that the people that I'm helping, they actually do need help and they want help, not just me telling them and suiting them. Oh, it's so nice. Yeah, you have a lot of issues, a lot of challenges, a lot of problems. Like, oh, you're one of a kind. I mean, everybody has issues and challenges they need to overcome. So, yeah.
I got to tell everybody that they can put their voice in if they put hashtag NYC, and that'll give them a chance to win a ticket to join us May 15th through the 17th. So put hashtag NYC in the comments, and we will do a drawing later on. One thing about your voice is, why are so many people, and this is a question for everybody, who are afraid of their own voice? They don't want to go on camera. I sound weird. I sound funny. I don't like my voice. It's a gift. People, it's a gift. You should love the sound of your own voice because you talk to yourself all the time, whether you admit it or not. Every day, if you're not talking to yourself, we need to talk.
I see that with my students. We've got this Saturday class that we run called YouTube University, and there's people sitting and waiting. They've signed up. They show up every week, and they haven't. This is why I give them checklists. I was like, hey, you have such amazing stories that you want to share with the world, or your book. You're an author. You want to share with your book, but you don't know where to start. So I'm come to the class and just listen to the other YouTubers, podcasters, content creators who've gone from not being on camera before to now demanding or being able to sit there and go for hours with other people and, you know, sharing their voice with the camera, the lens is what I'm trying to say. Because you need help. You need a helping hand. I tell everybody, YouTube Universities, it's free. It's open for everybody on Saturdays for you to come in, and you don't have to. It's Ask Me Anything. I'm like, I want to know what is holding you back. What's the missing piece from you sharing your stories from corporate or from like whatever your experience. You have so much knowledge in your brain from your life experiences, and there's somebody who needs that experience. They need to learn from you. There's somebody that needs to learn from you. So once you're comfortable with writing your scripts, if you need them, getting the technology working, whatever, you just need somebody there to lead you through that. And that's why I'm there, because I'm like, I know there's so many trapped voices, because I speak to business owners every single day, and they're like, I need help. And I'm like, I acknowledge that. Where do we start with you? Where are you on your process? What is this thing that scares you the most? And let me help you get over that hurdle today, and then come back when you're ready to get over the next hurdle or the next speed bump, because they just need somebody to listen to them and say, hey, you're strong. You can do this, and I will make sure your computer works. I'll make sure all those things on your checklist are checked off. So when you're ready to have a hit record and then upload it later or go live with it, you've got the production manager in the background giving you the thumbs up saying, everything looks good, and now is the time to release that voice.
Everybody needs a mic in their life, literally, to hold your hand and give you kind of that support that you need. So absolutely love that. And just to add to what Sifu was saying is, why are we afraid of our voice or to share that voice? And that voice is because we are in the way. We're missing the opportunity to connect because we're making it about us instead of the gift that we can share with someone else. Every moment that we sit waiting for the perfect moment, and before we speak, it's never coming. It's never going to be perfect. But when you decide and when you choose to say it, that's the moment it's meant to be shared. Confidence is not going to come by waiting. Confidence comes by doing, by showing up afraid. Keep doing it. And I will say that Sifu has been an extreme advocate of mine, of challenging me day in, day out. Keep showing up. Just keep showing up. And most of the time I'm scared to death, and I keep showing up. And each time it gets a little bit easier. So you need to have a mic in your life. You need to have Sifu. I recognize the power on this call, and I thank you all for those little nuggets. You probably see me just writing profusely, because those are things that I cherish. I cherish these nuggets that you've given me, and I'm going to take those and I'm going to share those with others because they're gifts.
I got to say, in case you didn't realize it, Renee is going to be in New York City with us May 15th through the 17th. Mike is going to be with us. And the question I have for the rest of the panel, will you be making the trip to New York City to join us?
Spiritually.
You can eventually, no, we have a date.
No, sorry, I said spiritually.
Okay, we love spiritually. So the voice that we're talking about is the voice that we need to use when we need to say probably very, very important words that some of us are terrified to ask for, is help. Raising your hand and say, hey, I need help. I'm not good at that. I can't do this alone. And that's the voice that people are afraid of expressing. Every day, I make so many mistakes. And if you know me, it looks like I make no mistakes. But behind the scenes, oh my goodness, do I make so many? And I am not afraid to say to somebody, hey, I need some help here, some help there. Don't get me wrong. I also do try to tackle everything on my own. And I'm good with that. But I know where and when to ask for help. So if you're out there and you need help, any one of these people on this panel, I know who they are. They would love to help you. So don't be afraid to ask for the help that you may need. All right, Julian Duffy, she just put in NYC. Look at that. We're getting smart here. I love it. I love it. So everybody, this is a voice that you can join us and type in the chat, hashtag NYC, and join us. We're going to give away one ticket today. Uno, solamente uno. If you're listening to me in Spanish, solamente un para ti.
What I like about what you just said, CeeLo, is we know as individuals we need help. And I like what you said earlier. You don't seem that way. And that's how people look at us from a leadership position. We're not leaders that's going to fail. People know that. But when we ask for help from other people, you don't understand the power of that. Because most people think, well, if I can help Sifu, I'm a better leader than him. That's how they feel for that moment. And guess what? Sometimes you need to feel that way. Okay? Sifu need help from me? Yeah, man, you that powerful. Accept that. And that's what most leaders don't get. Okay? One thing about the military, the greatest thing I ever learned, training after hours over a drink is the best training in the world. Because you're sitting there with a drink, you're venting, you're laughing, but everybody's listening. And sometimes you're listening. And now you're making your circle strong. Okay? I know that I can wake up at 3 o'clock and I can call Mr. Clay. I mean, I got some stuff on my mind. And we get to talk about it. But sometimes the only one talking is you. You need people in your circle that can listen, who can just hold the phone and listen to you vent for 2 hours. And then hang up the phone real simple. And man, did you hear everything you just said? Yes, I did. Well, do something about it. Talk to you later. Click. It is that simple. Because when they click, when they hang up, everything that they talk about, they heard. They know what their problems are. And the problem that you got is you. Fix you. If you fix you, it's easy to fix somebody else because we have a leadership concept. My friends talk about the way I walk. Man, you walk like you're so proud. Shut up. I don't know how not to walk like this. Confidence is a word. Confidence is your life. Okay. I'm not arrogant. I'm confident. I might seem arrogant. I'm confident. I'm going to just stick with that word. Now, you want me to be arrogant? I can be. Okay. But in the military, you with somebody for 3 years and then they leave. I'm still friends with those people today after 50 years. That's how powerful we are. But that's how powerful they are. We as leaders need somebody to talk to. Okay. I'm not a crying dude. That ain't happening. That's just not me. But I got friends I can talk to help me understand I need to be in a better place. And when you got friends like that in the circle, you are going to listen to them. You might not necessarily do what they say because of your confidence, but help needs help. And we just keep growing from there. That's what's cool about this just me. Right? We're good at what we do, but we're better at helping other people become them through us.
I love that, Jimmy. I love your swagger and your confidence. But we spoke about this while golfing.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
Right? Because when I ask for help from leaders all the time because how have I self-employed 21 years. My corporate stint did not last very long because I'm like, I don't like other people's ethics or their morals. So I'm going to set the stage and build my company and my consulting the way how I want to be treated. I want people to help me. I'm going to go help them. So when it comes down to seeing how people present themselves on camera and their podcasts or their YouTube shows, and I'm like, you're doing that because you have the experience and you want to share that with people. And I've got a little bit more experience. So I'm going to come by and say, hey, let's tweak this. Let's tweak this. This is amazing. You're already doing something amazing, but you got a little bit of bad training from somebody, and I can tell it. But that's okay. So we just need to untrain what, we've got all this confidence, all this swagger. We got a show. We're helping people. We're showing up for our audience. We're showing up for employees. And just like, where did that come from? They're like, well, my other coach told me this. It's like, okay, perfect. That got you to this position, and we're going to get you to the next position. So we just got to change the methodology a little bit. Wow, Mike, where did you learn this? It was like, Maxwell, or dropping the other. I'm like, I didn't get to my position and all my experience with producing from doing it myself. I learned from, people in Hollywood, other actors, actresses. I've done a lot of actor training. I've done a lot of training with other people who are where I want to get myself to, right? And it's just super, as a leader, asking for help. Number one, most important thing you can do, because you need to get yourself to that next stage. And it's the swagger, like, why are you so confident with your production abilities? And I'm like, I run a class where I'm teaching people. I'm like, hey, you're stuck. I can see you're stuck. I had this conversation with T.O. in Tampa, right? He asked questions, and I'm like, okay, you got to this point. Now follow my instructions for you to level up to get to the next point.
And I think asking for help is so critical, because a lot of the people that I work with, they're really, really successful in other parts of their life. But then when it comes to their physical health, they're like, well, I know what to do. I just need to do it. And so then we have to say very lovingly to them, that may be true, but are you doing it? And if you're not, then we need to hold you accountable to your own goals, and we need to help you get to that next level, because we all know what to do. We all could know what to do, but if we had already been successful, then we wouldn't be asking somebody else, or we wouldn't be struggling in that area. So don't be afraid to say, it's not a matter of weakness by asking somebody else to hold me accountable to my own goals. It's important, and we need that at different points in our life.
I just wanted to jump in because you might have heard a weird alarm going off, and that was my phone telling me we need to do a drawing, right? So I'm going to give everybody about a minute. Anybody who's with us, if you want to get a ticket to our New York City Mastermind, it's called Unified Leadership Lab. We're doing a lab in New York City, May 15th through the 17th. So go ahead, put it in the chat, and hashtag NYC. In about a minute, we're going to do a drawing. So we already have a few people in there. Need some more. I'm going to give Mr. or Mrs. Cricket a chance to speak.
Oh, I thought we were waiting for the raffle to end. So I'll just add, right, when we're talking about leadership and ourselves as well, two things that we need to provide is also a safe and trustworthy environment, and we need to trust others that are underneath us so that they actually feel safe asking us. And the way we can also do that is, like everybody else said here, is to ask for help at the beginning. And when you provide these two things, like amazing things are going to happen when you don't even know. Like one of my last jobs when I was in corporate it became hell on earth for me because my boss was pushing me way harder than it was supposed to be. But what happened was my subordinates actually came to my help, and they were working at 10 p.m. at night, even though like their shift ended at like 3 hours ago. And when I asked them, why the hell did you do that? I was like, because of you. Like, because I hated the way you were treated from the boss, and we're here to help you. And we don't care if we need to work more because you've been there for us, so we're going to be here for you.
I love it. So I got to tell you, we only have one on entry. So it won't let me do it for one entry. So anybody who's interested, let me go check again. I'm going to check again. So are you ready? So to join us, let me see how many entries. I still have one. I'm going to refresh the page just to see.
Need some energy this morning.
We do need energy this morning.
It's almost like a gift, Sifu. You have this gift with this pretty ribbon and this nice packaging, and you've given it to everybody who is listening, and you get it, but you don't open it up. How crazy is that? You're missing the goodness that's inside.
Yes.
Open up the gift.
Renee, that's what I tell. This is my gift. I'm gonna coach you on Saturdays to get you building your audience and get you on camera. And people are just like, but why? And it's like, you have such gifts inside of you, and you just need to get them on camera. You need to find your voice, and it's not. I know it sounds challenging and it's scary, but I'm like, we're all here to help people. It doesn't matter if it's your children, your nieces, nephews. You're running a business. You got employees. You want more business coming through your door or traffic to your website. I'm like, you gotta build your audience. You need to get in front of that camera. And Sifu does an amazing job. Like, this production quality on his shows is, he's got the experience and he's been doing it for a while, right? And I'm like, we can get everybody to this level, but we gotta start one day, one step. And I had Jimmy on my. We're starting a new sales show, and I had him on camera last Monday or whatever it was, and it was great. It was a great conversation because I'm like, we're just comparing our notes from leadership from his career in the Navy, which is vastly different than my career over the last 20 years, helping people with technology and getting in front of the camera, right? But it's just, we have so many similarities from our careers that we're like two peas in a pod. We just met in Tampa at a cigar bar. But leaders can recognize other leaders in the room, is what I'm trying to say. And we know, and he was good. And when we went golfing, he's like, you got a nice swing, but you need some tweaks. And I'm like, how can you tell I'm just rough? Because I've been traveling across North America in an RV with my golf clubs, and nobody's asked me to go golfing with them. So I'm going to take up the opportunity to show up in Jacksonville and go golfing with him and learn from a master in leadership.
Well, I mean, when you get together as a group, help everybody. And that's the biggest thing about competition. You know, Blaz, what you were saying earlier about what we did in the military and then we went to corporate America. I didn't like corporate America. I couldn't stand it. So my first job was 45 days. Went to work one Thursday, beautiful day in San Diego. I'm passing all these golf courses. It's 6 a.m. Well, I get to work at 7. I tell the boss, I said, you had coffee yet? He said, no. I said, let's have some coffee. I said, I quit. He like, what? I said, I can't sit in this damn cubicle. I can't do this. He said, well, you're the best salesperson. I don't care. I quit. He said, you've been there 45 days. What about your last check? I said, mail it to me. So I left. On the way home, I called my wife to take her to lunch. She said, I thought you was at work. She said, I know you just quit. I said, yes, I did. You know, but then I left for 4 months. I had just got out the military. So I just drove cross country by myself for 4 months. I had to get my mind right. Because 24 years in the Navy, the hell with corporate America. Why didn't I go back to corporate America? Get a great job. 2 years later, I quit. A week later, I get another job. 12 times. Wife was like, how can you get these high-paying jobs? You quit, and the next week you got another. I said, look at my resume. I believe in me. You need me. I tell people, make yourself needed, even though you're not wanted. Me as a black man in America, there's a lot of people that don't want me. Okay, but you need me. Give me a call. I'm in control. This is how I live my life. I'm fortunate to be married 42 years. My wife knows who I am. If I don't want to do something, I'm not doing it. Because I know when I get an attitude, it's over. I'm not going back. But when you meet people, you know, me and Mike on the golf course, I noticed some things. Point it out. Make people around you better that moment. Just for that moment. And it's going to carry over. Okay? And we use this term, MTTM, method to the madness. We live in a mad world right now. There's a method to it. We're on screen right now. There's a method to this. There's a method to the madness of success, right? Use it. Because guess what? Knowledge is free. You can't take it with you. Wisdom costs nothing. It costs nothing. So guess what? Before you die, and people say, Jay, why you say wake up dead? Because one day you're going to wake up dead. Now, I don't know if you're going to be in heaven or hell. I don't know where you're going to be. But you're not going to be here. People going to remember you. People going to talk about you after you leave. Years after you leave. So guess what? Be the best you. Help everybody around you be better. And you tell them to play it forward. As long as they play it forward, your success will continue. Period. It's that simple for me.
I love the legacy part because that's how I live my life as well. So legacy for me is the way I lead myself first, because I cannot be in command of anybody else unless it's me first. And this is why, yes, I was up at 4:15. Sometimes it's 3:15. Sometimes it's 3:19. I don't tell me when to wake up. God does that for me. He's like, get up, you got things to do. I'm like, I'm listening. Yes, I am. And so I command myself first at all times, because that's how I can leave a legacy. And I don't want the legacy a couple of years from now, whenever I go. And by the way, you're all invited to my 100th birthday party, because we're dancing. We're going to be moving and shaking and doing all the fun things that we love to do. And when you consider that, that's where I want to leave my legacy. So it's not a generation, but multiple generations will be able to say, see, for Raphael did this, and this is why we're doing this. And when we can lead ourselves, we can only lead others. If we do something bad and we continue doing it, we're going to get people who are going to follow us. I'd rather get more people doing the good things that I'm doing than the bad things that I'm doing. So I learn from every mistake, and every mistake is not a mistake. It's a lesson to be learned. That's how I lead every day. So I love this conversation, how it went from your health, your voice, and the systems that tie it all together. Because if you don't have a system, you're going to fall short, and you're going to keep wondering, why am I such a failure? Stop wondering. Do that incredible thing. Ask for help. When you fail at something, look at it, evaluate it, and either try it again until you succeed. And if it becomes almost impossible, keep going anyway. And then maybe have the courage to ask for the help that you need. I did say courage, right?
Yes. Looks like we're getting close to our time, but I wanted to share, if I could leave one thing with you, you don't need to be more. You just need to align with what's already there. The voice that matches your value, when that does, people are not just going to hear words, they're going to feel your leadership. And I'm confident in that. I would love to help anyone who needs help in connecting with your voice, your identity, or finding what your unique purpose is in the world. Move from performing for approval to owning and leading from potential and purpose.
Love that. So you're right, Renee, we are coming to that point. So if everybody wants to share something, and then we'll wrap it up. Thank you, Renee.
I'll just add one thing that Renee said is you alone determine what success is for you. Other people don't determine what you see as success. And you're successful if you think so, and you know that you are, even though everybody else around you may think you're a failure or anything like that. It's up to you to determine that and your vision until the end. And like we said, Sifu, I'll be there for your 100th birthday, and we're going to be dancing.
Yes, yes.
I'll just jump in and say that, like we discussed, it's not weakness to ask for help. And it does not mean that you're not a good leader if you reach out to somebody else, because it may just mean that there's something in your life at that point that could use a little bit of assistance. And if anything, it shows that you're human, and, having the confidence and the ability to say, hey, this is an area that I need some help. It does show that, we're all humans, and we all need some assistance at some point. And I would also say, kind of back to where we started, like Jimmy said, taking care of your physical body, it's not an afterthought. It is not a nice to do. It's a must do if you want to be able to show up in all the rest of these places of your life. And it's not vanity. It's important. And we can't continue to build these legacies and have it all cut short because we didn't take care of the temple that we were given, and continue to, show up for ourselves physically and mentally every day. So don't be afraid to admit that maybe that is an area in your life you need some help, because it's just going to help everything else show up that much better.
There you go.
Thank you for that. Mike, Jimmy? Yeah.
My links on the screen. I'm so thankful to be invited to this. I'm thankful for Sifu to invite me to speak on stage at his event in Long
May
Island
15th,
in May 15th and 17th, because we're gonna come and hand out the production checklist for your voice to get online every single week. So my app, you can find me at that link, don'tgethacked.app. I've got a link for my YouTube University there. My phone number is there, my email. Just you as a leader, you know there's something that's not working. You gotta reach out and ask for help. So whether that's Sifu or Coach Tio or Jimmy, just reach out for help, and they're gonna connect you with who they know can help you. Take that next step.
I just sent my phone number. I'm willing to help anybody. It's just that when I'm not gonna say Tampa forced me into this. Okay, it just was meant to be. It's too many people that need help, but with that, and Wendy, I like what you said earlier. When you talk about health, it's a part of your life. Being healthy is like breathing. Okay, I'm like Sifu. I can't set time clocks. I cannot set alarms. If I set an alarm, I can't go to sleep because I don't want to hear that damn noise. So I just get up. When I wake up, I get up. Okay. I know I'm a blessed guy, about to turn 65 and still look like I'm in high school. Why am I tripping? Right? But the deal is, if you don't believe in yourself, there's nothing wrong with helping for help. And then you ask for help from the best people to prove to yourself that you're just as good as them. Period. And you share that. I'm gonna teach you to be better than me. That's what made me successful. All the people that work for me, I'm gonna teach you everything I know. Everything. Right? And people are like, well, why you do that? Why wouldn't you do that? When I was in the military and I went on vacation, back then we didn't have cell phones. We had pages. I didn't take a page. I don't know nothing about a computer. I know how to turn it on. Sifu had to walk me through how to get on this. Okay? And I know you just got to click a button. Right? But you are you. You live your life every day. I look at where I'm from. I look at where I'm at. Okay? As a Navy recruiter, one thing I learned real quick, find your replacement. People are like, what you mean by find your replacement? But see, you on recruiting, I was on recruiting duty 14 years. Every day you got to find your replacement. At least 100 people a day. Because you're going to leave. But when you find your replacement, they're going to stick with you. They're going to get on stuff like this. This will be your replacements. Well, I met Jay when he was 15, right? Now Jay's 65, but he ain't changed. And I asked my friends, they're like, why should I change who I am? That's the problem with leadership. You think that you're supposed to change your style because of what you do or because of what somebody else want. You need me, I don't need you. You hired me because of this. Read my resume, period. When the world went at will, that woke me up. I don't care how good you are in any business. If they want to get rid of you, they're going to get rid of you. So I was like, okay, but at will works two ways. They can let you go and you can quit. I've quit a lot of jobs and I quit them the same way. Eyes quit. And people look at it, what does that mean? You heard what I said. Eyes quit. I'm not coming back. I've been retired 6 years. They're trying to get me back. So did I did everything right? They failing because eyes left. Okay. But the deal is just teach that to the people you know. Teach that to the people that you want to replace you. But teach that to people that you want them to do better. And you start with your children. Always put your children in a situation every day. Put them in a situation that you was in because it's gonna happen. Well, you know, when I was your age, I did this. My friends came at me like this. It's gonna happen to your children. They're gonna come back to you sometime. You know what, Dad? You was right. What you talking about? Well, Dad, you said this, and it just happened, and I did this. Because they listened. But it took the situation and the circumstances that they was in to wake up. So when they come to you, you don't have to be a mad parent because they learn from what you said earlier. My son about to have his first kid. Well, I hope he don't turn out like you, bro. But because my son is 10 times better than me, I expect my grandson to be 100 times better than him today. That's all you do as a leader. Learn, put it out. People gonna pick it up. They're gonna stay focused. Bring back the people that didn't want to listen to you the first time. That makes you a good leader. Most leaders will not accept nobody back after they leave. Okay, eyes left. Why you call them 6 years later? Because they woke up. We really needed Jay. We shouldn't have lost Jay. Well, Jay ain't coming back. But now you back in control. Now if you want me back, and I make people mad when I make this statement because of corporate America. That's okay. If you want me back, pay me like I'm white. People are like, Jay, why do you say that? This world I live in, you want me back? Pay me like I'm white. Because how many white people that you overpay compared to me that can't do half of what I do? Okay, and I'm not saying it angrily. I'm not being angry. I'm just saying, you want this brother back? Pay me. It's a win-win. But then you teach their people to be you. See, you want me back. Well, if you wouldn't have let me leave, I would have taught 1,000 people to do what I do. How much money would you have right now? Did you just wake up leadership? You made them discover we made a mistake, but you learn from it. Stop doing it this way. You don't have to like me to need me, especially when you're talking money. Because if I can bring you $1 billion, you're gonna learn to like me. Trust me. That's all you're trying to do. So when you get older and you retire like me, and you can sit in that chair back there with that Saint symbol on there, I don't do nothing but relax. That's it. Because I'm in control. But I meet good people like y'all, and now y'all got me waking up doing this. I'm supposed to be on the golf course. The sun is shining. But today was worth it. This was good. This was good. I appreciate y'all.
Thank you for being here with us, Jimmy, for sure. And earlier you talked about would I want to help Sifu and make it that I'm better than Sifu? I apply that almost daily because, I do teach youngsters too. I do have a martial arts school and I teach youngsters. And almost every day I ask them, I said, listen, guys, I have a problem. I need some help. Every one of their hands goes up. And it could be the silliest thing. I could say, I need to choose a leader. And they're like, oh, pick me. Or some of them will point to someone else. And they realize that somebody else in the group is a leader. And every day I get a chance to help youngsters, like you said. It's so important to help them to understand that I am not it. They're it. Mm-hmm. I'm just a guide, and I love being a guide. I guide so many people, whether it's because they're getting on a stage, they're speaking for the first time, they're getting on a show, they're doing a commercial. I've helped everybody from all walks of life find their voice and understand the value and the power behind their voice and how they command their voice so that they can help me with my project. My project is to help as many people as God has told me to do. So if I can empower somebody, it's not because of me, it's because of them. And so I believe that, like you, leadership is about replacing myself to make someone else the leader. Because we need leaders. And I tell the parents all the time, I said, listen, what I'm telling your kids is not for me, and it's not for you either. It's for them. We need them so that we can have a brighter future. Without them, we're going to be lost. So let's encourage everyone to sharpen those brilliant young minds every day so that we can have a better tomorrow. I thought I'd share that with you guys. And we definitely went over today. So, and I do have alarms because this alarm is not a regular alarm. It's to see if there's any more entries. And I'm going to share with you. Watch this. How many entries we have? You ready? What does that say? 1 entry. And I cannot hit the enter because it's a competition. You can't compete with yourself. So I apologize for you entering. And next time, do me a favor. We're going to do this every week until we get a winner. So if you didn't win today, don't worry. There's always tomorrow. Or actually, there's next week, next Friday. Same bad time. Make sure you join us. We're going to have the same information for you to come and join us, right? So thank you, everybody, for being here with us. Each one of you is such an impactful human being, and your voice carries weight, right? But don't let it weigh you down or weigh anybody down. The weight should be to lift them. So thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Sifu.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
A minute after, I'll still be here. All right, you guys, God bless.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Unify leadership. Let's move. Let's lead. Let's ride. Unify leadership. Like the flame, turn it up loud. Remember the name. Unify leadership.